I'm deep in the mountains with my rail bike camper, and for the next 2 days, we're gonna be exploring this abandoned railroad. There should be tunnels, trestles, and there's definitely gonna be a lot of downed trees. I've never been here, so I don't know what to expect. What I do know is it's about to get dark because it took me all day to get back here. I need to cut down this tree so I can go find a camping spot. I just broke my chainsaw. Good thing I brought a handsaw. Whoa! That feels good to get that tree out of the way. Woo. If this is your first time seeing the machine, it's a retired mailman bike that I turned into a camper. Now that that log's out of the way, let's go down the rails and find a nice spot to cook up dinner. Oh man, there's even more trees down. This one's pretty small, luckily. Wow, the river is loud. The river's just down there. It's a gorgeous night. The full moon. Well, there's another tree down, and this one is very big. So this is a great time to cook up some dinner. Let's get my cozy little camper set up. The handle just broke, and then the throttle stuck wide open. I was like, oh no, this is so bad. Hopefully I can fix this, because I'm gonna need it. Woo! How cozy is that? It's like a little nest. Wow, I am hungry. It's time to get this wood stove hooked up. That stove is gonna keep me warm tonight. I'm gonna cook up some burgers for dinner. While that pan warms up, I wanna go check the river out. It is roaring. Whew. Wow, that is a nice sized river down there. There looks to be ice, so I'm not gonna go any further. Also, I am really hungry. Back to my little camper. Oh yeah, that is heating up nice. There's a flame coming out the top of my stove. This thing is burning way too hot. I gotta cool it down. Slow down the damper. No more flame. This stove can get so hot. Sometimes I worry that it's gonna like melt itself, because I bought this from Temu and it was basically free. Kind of like my chainsaw, but the stove actually works. I love onions on my burger. So I'm gonna get these nice and crisp. Onions are looking awesome. Time to cook the patties. Time to warm up the buns. Ooh. Check that. The buns are toasted. Oh. Oh man. Those burgers are so good. And I've got dessert. Got a jar of honey. That is the good stuff. This is from my own honeybees. If you've ever thought about getting honeybees, do it. It's the best thing ever. Oh. I wonder if I got attacked by a bear, would it go for the honey or would it go for the burgers? Dinner and dessert, you cannot beat that. Plus, check this out. It's a full moon. That's crazy. Full moon on an abandoned railroad. in a USPS mail bike. Not on my bingo card for 2026, but here I am. The one bummer about my honey is I've developed a slight allergy to it. And I think it's because I've been stung by my bees so many times. It's crazy how much heat this wood stove puts off. It is boiling in here already. Tomorrow is going to be a giant day of exploring, and I have a feeling I'm going to be cutting a lot of trees. So when I wake up, I'm going to do my best and fix that saw. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning. I think I slept in a little later than I was trying to. Got to get out of my warm, cozy sleeping bag. I need to fix my chainsaw this morning. Without that, I don't think I'm going to be able to make much progress. So the handle snapped off. I definitely see why these are so cheap on Amazon. Luckily, I still have my bottom mount. So if I zip tie this together, I think it will be strong. Oh man, once the sun fully pops up, it's going to be insanely nice. Here's my little zip tie stash. I think I got super lucky. All it needed was a few zip ties. This thing's sick. Since this bike was owned by the post office, it has a security system. So I have to hook it up first and then disarm it, or else this thing will go crazy. Now I need to hit it with the key, click, power up the systems, backup cameras on. The security system on this can be a little hit or miss. So every time it works, I'm happy. Had to put the front tire on because when I made this, I didn't think about the lean. So last night I didn't want to sleep like this, so I just took the front tire off. It's doing a wheelie. Can't forget to grab my bacon. Had the bacon in the snow last night to keep it cool. All right. I was planning on having a big breakfast, but with the sun coming up and an open line of rails, I gotta get going. This is too epic to stop and have breakfast. Maybe I'll cook lunch. I'm gonna be clearing a lot of trees today. I am so glad the chainsaw's working. This bike rips. Oh man, we've got more trees down. I am so glad I've got a working chainsaw. My zip ties broke. Rats, I gotta fix it again. Got it zip tied and duct taped. My two favorite things. Let's see if this thing's gonna stay together now. All right. Heck yeah. I wonder what will happen if we get into some deep snow. Man, this thing goes right over the snow. This works so good. We've got a trestle coming up. I'm gonna put the park and brake on and inspect it. I've never been out here, so I have no idea what to expect. This is insane. No way. There's a big log jam underneath this trestle. Wow. Whew. This is tremendous. Oh, what is this? I just found an old firearm casing on the rails. This is a pistol caliber. On wood trestles, they have these fire platforms because back in the day when these were being used, it was not super uncommon for one of the steam trains to catch a trestle on fire. So they had these platforms so they could fight the fire. Unreal. This is so cool. Time to cross this puppy. I'm gonna do it real slow. Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform that lets anyone build a professional website. So I just started coming out with merch, and my current website is very basic. So I'm building a new and improved one, and to do that, I'm using Squarespace. The thought of building your own website that looks good and more importantly functions correctly is pretty scary, especially when you're like me and know basically nothing about building websites. Well, that's not the case with Squarespace. I've been very impressed with Squarespace's intuitive design tools. They're very easy to use and they make building a website simple. You can get a fully functional, professional website in just a few steps with their AI enhanced website builder. Head to squarespace.com/MattSpears for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use code MattSpears to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/MattSpears for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use code MattSpears for 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring today's video. Wow. Rats, the chain just popped off. Not exactly the best place for that to happen. I'll get it back on though. The chain's back on. Let's get to the other side. Oh yeah, we gotta get the chainsaw back out. Man, I wonder how many more trestles there could be like that. Holy cow, I mean guys, look how big this thing is. It starts here and it goes all the way to over there. I like the undersides of these trestles almost as much as the top. Just the geometry of wood. Man, oh man. Man, look how it just towers. All right, I gotta cut this tree out. Got some more trees coming up. Whew. It's a perfect spot for the chainsaw. Wow. Wow, look at all those trees down. Holy moly, I've got some work to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trees to take out. Whoa. Two down, 5 more to go. I'm gonna make quick work of these. After that last zip tie and duct tape fix, this thing is working sweet. Oh yeah, here we go. This is a proper sized tree. Got one more tree. I'm impressed with this little saw. Besides the handle, this thing's junk, don't buy one, but the engine's sweet. Now we're making good progress. This thing works so good. I can feel the railroad getting steeper. We're climbing up out of the creek. I've got it in turbo mode. We're getting into some more snow now. All right, we've got some more obstacles coming up. Whoa! I'm working up a sweat pedaling that bike and cutting trees. Holy moly, I'm getting hungry. Oh man, we got some more stuff coming up. Wow, it is beautiful back here. There's some trees up here. This saw's really been putting in the work. I've just got one more tree to get out of the way. All right, let's see if I can sneak by. With my little wheels, I have to make sure I get everything off the tracks so I don't get derailed. We've got one more tree, then it looks like it clears up. This should be pretty easy. Woo! I think we're about to cross the creek again. I'm derailed and I am so hungry, so I'm cooking lunch. For lunch, I'm having my breakfast, bacon and eggs. This thing's getting hot. Time to cook some eggs. Oh man, that looks delicious. Bacon and eggs with a lot of cheese. Oh, take a little afternoon nap in there. Chain's getting pretty loose. I need to tighten that up. See how many more trees are down up here. There's a 2-for-1 right here. Oh man, that was the biggest one yet by far. This saw, super impressive engine. I just wish the plastic was nicer. You win some, you lose some, I guess. All right, let's load up and keep going. Back on the rails. Oh yeah, no more fire in there. This camper is literally a cocoon. Just pillows and blankets. So ridiculous. I was thinking I could make one of these sides fold out into like a huge bed. That would be so cool. I don't think it'd be that hard either. Just a couple hinges, some gas struts. That'd be good to go. Woo! Look at that river down there. That is unreal. These mountains are epic. And this railroad just goes right through them. I'm gonna try to go as fast as I can because there's so much more track to explore, and I'm worried the day's gonna be over soon. Oh man, there's more trees down. Whew. I probably should not have lifted that one. I should have cut it up and then moved it. That was a little too heavy for me. Man, this view is insane. Holy cow. And we're off. Whoops. If there's branches over the track like that, they just grab the wheel. All right, we should be good to go now. Woohoo! Oh yeah, we're finally making some progress. Heck yeah. Oh man, that's a big tree. That is a big dog. Holy moly. This is one of those dangerous trees you gotta be careful with. So since this tree is across the tracks, there's a lot of pressure in the middle of the log. So you gotta be really careful when you're cutting trees like this. Since I only have one chainsaw and no wedges, I need to be very careful not to pinch my blade. So first step, I just need to limb the tree. Chainsaw's out of gas. Luckily, I brought extra. I cover my gas bottles in black duct tape because when I used to cut a lot, these tend to go missing if you're with a big crew. So if you cover it in black duct tape, it doesn't look like all the other bottles. Let's go cut this tree. Got it! Sheesh! Holy moly! I'll probably edit that so it only looks like a few seconds. I had to cut all the way back there so it wouldn't pinch there. And once that let go, I was able to release it there and then cut up there finally. Holy cow. Also, I think that was the last log for that chainsaw. It's all busted up now. It sure is nice when something like that goes to plan. One casualty though, the saw is done. I broke the stop. Even though it still runs, since I can't stop the chain, I will not use that thing. It is far too dangerous to run a chainsaw that you can't stop the chain. Here's the piece that broke off. Man, that saw's got a mighty engine, but the plastic is junk. I need to walk ahead because if there's any more big trees down, I am not gonna tempt myself to use a broken chainsaw. Well, there might be another big tree right here. Look at all the animal prints. All right, what are we working with here? I'm gonna try to move this by hand. I really wanna keep going. All right, move the top part, but the main part's way too heavy for me. But I'll cut that with the handsaw. I'm gonna keep walking. Oh man, I think there's another big dog. Wow, look at that view. That is a big log. I would also be willing to cut that with the handsaw. I'm gonna keep walking. The tracks are fully under the snow. How cool is that? Should have brought snowshoes. There's so many trees down. Oh, jeez. Huge one at the end, another big one, another slightly bigger one than the other one. And this one is pretty small. Whoa. Oh man, that's a big bummer. The cab is not smashed. So whoever was in this was definitely fine. Ooh, that was probably so scary. Man, oh man. Holy moly. See that giant blade? They could clear the tracks with that. Big, huge Detroit diesel engine. Someone grabbed the turbo right there. I bet that was scary. Man, that's a nice piece of machinery though. Whoever was driving this, their life was saved by that big, huge cedar tree. Whoa. I bet that would be quite the pain to lift that back up. It says it weighs 33,000 pounds. So it's missing its wheel right there. I wonder if the wheel came off. That would have been the right front tire. So it would have been right there. Yikes. So the rear end bolted in those 8 spots and that sucker's gone. I bet a rear end alone for one of those is like 20 grand. Look at this terrain. That is one epic view. I think this is my favorite part of the track so far. Wow. I've got about a half a mile walk back to the buggy. I better turn this around and not bend the sprocket like I did last time. I'm gonna be very careful this time. Back on. Hopefully I didn't break something this time. Yeah, everything's feeling good. Wow, this thing rips. Uh-oh. Whoa. What? You guys hear that? That's super weird. It derailed off the front sprocket. Oh man, maybe I damaged something. I tried to be so careful though. I definitely did not hit the sprocket on anything. I must have broke something. I'm gonna give it a once over, tighten everything up, see how it looks. Hopefully that was just a fluke. Oh man. It's definitely shifting smoother now. Now that I've got clear track, I wonder how long it's gonna take me to get back to the truck. Because in my head, I feel like I've gone a long ways, but I think it's just because of all the trees I've cut. Check it, check it. This thing really moves. I'm gonna slow down, I've got some debris. I'm making so much progress. That's crazy. I already made it back to the trestle. My electric motor just ran out of juice. Oh. This joker is hard to pedal without the help. I'm about to get a workout. See you. I didn't realize how much the electric motor was helping me until I had to pedal it myself. Woo-hoo. The buggy keeps flashing. I wonder if it's the security system. Sometimes it just randomly locks me out, and I'm locked out right now. Ta-da! Here's the first tree I cut out. Whoa. Thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. I'm obsessed with this vehicle. It is so much fun. I'll see you guys in the next video.